Hello and welcome, my name is Fleur. Today we're going to work into the shoulders and a little bit into back bends. And you might want to have a broomstick or something like a long scarf or a long towel, I dropped it, to work with. Either or would be really helpful. And we're going to start with just putting those to the side. Okay, and I've got friends practicing with me. Here we go. Bring your feet underneath your hip bones. Toes facing forward. Good. Have your knees slightly bent a little bit. And then, good. And then bring your shoulders forward. Roll them all the way up. And roll them back. And roll them down. Go again. Roll them forward. Roll them up. Roll them back. And down. Two more. Roll them forward. Roll them up. Back. And down. Go the other way around. Roll the shoulders back. Lift them up. Go forward and down again. Roll them back to reaches. I've got a playlist that's called Electronic Flow by Soul Rising. If you want to use it, you can use it. It's quite a nice one. Again, roll them back. Lift up, forward. And last one, roll them back. Lift them up, forward and down. Good. Reach your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Take a nice breath in and then bring the arms out to the side and down. Just 4 more, breathing in, lift the arms all the way up. Try and grow tall and bring them back down. And then 2 or 3 more, I think. Breathing in, stretching out and back down. 2 more, lifting up and back down. Try to draw the belly button in when you pull up through the arms. Last one, lift the arms up. And then take your left wrist with your right hand and take a little side stretch. So try to keep your shoulders away from the ears. Just breathing, leaning to the side. And from here, bend your knees, roll forward. Roll yourself all the way up, reach your arms back up to the ceiling. And then other side, grab your right wrist with the left hand and lean over to the other side. Draw your hips a little to the side. And then bending your knees. And roll forward. We're going to come into something that is like a little wave through the spine. So to set this up, I'm going to go sideways so you can see. Bend your knees slightly and then we're just going to start to move into the hips. So first of all, lower back, little movement into the spine. Try and keep your chest open and then just moving, rolling the hips in one direction. So lower back softens a bit. Try to isolate the movements through the hips. And then change direction, go the other way around. Notice how the lower back feels like, how much mobility is there in this lower back. And then come back to center. Now we're going to make a little movement that's like a wave through the body. Don't worry if you don't get it the first time, you'll probably automatically go into this movement. The movement is like this. We're going to start to fold forward with our upper body. Don't go too far. Then bend your knees. Then bring the knees forward. Bring your hips forward. Bring your chest up. And stand up tall. And then again, draw your chest forward. Start to bend your knees. Bring your knees forward. Your hips forward. Then your chest. And then stand up tall. So it's like a wave through the spine again. Arms are just hanging for now. Hang forward, and then you can make the movement a little bit bigger. So knees bend, hips draw forward. So you're standing a little bit like a, chest goes up, and then standing up tall. And then continue the movement. That's it, good. And again, bend the knees, hips come forward, chest goes up, and then goes forward again. Hips go back, knees go forward, hips go, that's ability, chest up. Good, so when you look from the side, you would look a bit like a wave. And then go a little deeper and go forward more with the upper body. So if you think knees, hips, chest is where you're working. That's it. And again, knees, hips, chest. Think of the hip statement, that's it. Do 2 more. Folding forward, and again, knees, hips, and chest. You're rolling the spine upwards. And 1 more, knees, hips, and chest. Good, we're going to reverse this movement now. So we're going to go back, open the chest, And then we're going to sink in with the hips. Bend the knees and then fold forward. Good. Open forward for the chest. So you're not rounding up. You're going to lean back with the chest and then bend your knees. Draw the hips back and then come forward. And then chest rolls all the way forward. And you're going to knees bend, hips bend, and then fold forward. So it's a little bit more difficult. Chest comes all the way up. And then you roll back, bending your knees. And then come forward. Last time, rolling through the chest as if you're arching your back. And then just bend your knees slightly and then come back to standing. Take your strap or take your broomstick is what I'm looking for. Good. A little movement in the spine. We're going to now move on to the shoulders. Take your broomstick or your strap quite wide. So really as wide as you feel, because we just want to gently go into the shoulders first of all. Start to lift them up. Lift them really high towards your ears. So you're lifting up the shoulder blades, lifting the shoulders to the ears, and then keeping your arms straight, slowly go over the back. And then again, lifting the arms up, shoulders go up to the ears, keep your ribs slightly drawn in, and then bring the arms just forward. Do that a few more times, lifting the arms up. Just change this a little. Good. That's it, I think. Ah, dear. There you go. Okay, good. And all the way over. Keep going, lifting the arms up. And squeeze them back. Good, that's it, lifting up. Notice if you're arching into your back, so if you want to lift up and then suddenly go into a back arch, so poking out through the tailbone, you want to try to keep ribs engaged and your tailbone still drawing down. Good. And if you can, see if you can go a little bit closer with your hands now. So the intensity starts to increase, but it shouldn't be so difficult that you feel you have to bend your elbows and it's strenuous. So still nice and gentle, arms up and back. I'm lifting the class here. Good. 2, 4 more, lifting up and back. And 3. Take it nice and slow, so working the shoulders, you don't have to rush. And 2. Don't know about you, but my shoulders are definitely crunching a little. And 1. Good. And then keep the arms up on the next one. Hold it here, and then keep the knees slightly bent, and take a little side stretch again. Keep the head soft, and then pushing into the feet to come back up. If you have a strap, try and keep the strap active, so you're not letting it loose. That's it, Jenna. Good. And again up, keeping the connection to the core. Good. And then from here, working now into a circle. So you're going to bend your knees, rolling over to the front, let your head hang, and then moving over to the other side, press into the feet, reach your top arm up and come back to standing. And then go the other way. Over to the side, bending your knees, and then coming forward, and then reaching the opposite arm up and standing back up. You can make this movement quite small, so it doesn't have to be very big. You can stay sort of halfway down. Try to keep your arms straight so that you're working into the shoulders. Imagine that you are connected to the broomstick. The closer you have your hands, the more difficult it is, of course. Make sure that your chin goes to chest when you come down, so you don't have tension in the neck. And then lift it back up. Do 2 more rounds, so 1 more each side. If by lifting up, you can also dust the ceiling with the broomstick. Also good. Okay. I've taken the broom off, as you can see. Good. And then bring the arms back up, well done. And then 1 more time, bring the arms back and see if you've got a little bit more space there. And then try to just hold it at the tightest point. If you feel you need to bring the arms a little bit closer, do it. Or if if you need to get them a little bit wider, keep the arms straight. And then from here, drawing in your tailbone, so you're not arching your back. So keep drawing in the belly and draw the ribs down towards your belly button. And then hold it and breathe, just noticing, are you struggling here, or can you just find space? Very gentle. You can close your eyes and be in your body. 2 more deep breaths. Good, and slowly release the arms down towards the floor. Well done. Okay, bring the broomstick down, roll your shoulders for a moment. And we're going to come into the warm-up for our legs. So also legs, quads, we go into back bends. We also need to open up through the hip flexors. So thinking of all this area, the front of the body, opening up. We're going to take steps back, so come to the front of your space. Steps back, starting with the right leg. Here we go. Take a deep stretch back, step back and reach your arms up. Breathe in, lengthen through the back heel, and then push the floor away and step it back up. Left side, bringing it back, reaching your arms up, squeeze your left glute, and step back. Make sure that your front knee doesn't come too far forward over your toes, and back up. Finding the balance. I'm being very wobbly today, reaching up and stepping back. 2 more rounds. Stepping back, we'll reach the arms up and forward. Left leg, reach the arms up, find the balance and step forward. Last one, reach the arms up. Stay here with your right leg back. Left knee is bent. Good. Hold the arms up, nice and long. Tuck your tailbone so you feel that right hip flexor, open. And then from here, bring your hands down towards your hips. Bend your right knee. Take a little moment here to tuck the tailbone, and let's take little pulses for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Slowly bring your right knee down to the floor, untuck your back toes. Breathe in, reach your arms forward, draw your hips forward, lift the arms. Exhale, open the arms back down. Bring your hips slightly back. And again, breathing in, reach your hips forward, open the chest. And exhaling, hips go back. If you need to pad your knee, please do so. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms down. 1 more, just 4. Inhaling, reach your arms up. Hold it here, interlace your fingers and reach up through the palms of the hand. Imagine you want to draw the knee forward whilst pressing down into your left foot and squeezing your right glute. Nice long breath. And exhale, bring your hands back down to the floor. Tuck your right toes under, lift up the back leg, lift up the hips, and step your left leg back into a downward facing dog. Walk a little bit out through the heels. You want to go into the same leg. Bring your toes together, touching. Lift your right leg up into the sky. Bend your right knee and draw the right knee high up into the sky. From here, we're going to come forward towards the front, chest forward, but keep your right knee bent, squeezing your right glute. And exhale, push it back. And again, inhale, draw the chest forward, squeeze your right knee up. And exhale, pull the hips back. 2 more. Inhale, draw the chest forward. Imagine you want to arch your back. Lift your foot down to knee. Yes. There we go. And push it back. 1 more. Inhale, draw the chest forward. Well done. And then draw the knee towards your nose. Round the back. And step the right foot forward between your hands. We're on the other side. Come up, lifting your arms nice and high. Open the chest. And then from here, bring your hands towards your hips. Bend your back knee. And then tiny pulses. Here we go. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep the tailbone tucked. Feel that you're opening the hips. Left knee is under the hip. 3, 2, and 1. Bring your left knee down to the floor. Nice and slowly untuck the left toes. Arm circles. Inhaling, reach your arms up. Draw the hips forward. Exhaling, bring them back. 3 more. Inhaling, arms reach up. Hips go forward. Exhaling, drawing them back. 2 more. Inhaling. Opening the chest. Exhaling back. One more, inhaling, opening forward. Exhaling down. Bring your hands down to the floor. Tuck your left toes under and then push yourself back into a downward facing dog. Draw the hips backwards, walk out a little bit through the heels. And then bring the big toes together, touching. Lift up your left leg into the sky. Bend your left knee. Squeeze your left heel upwards. Left heel to the right button. And breathe in. And then lengthen the chest forward. Open the chest. Exhale, draw the legs backwards, pushing the floor away. 3 more. Inhale, chest opens. Keep squeezing your left knee up. And then pushing the floor away. 2 more. Inhaling, chest comes forward. Keep looking forward and exhaling. Look back again. And 1 more. Chest comes forward. On tiptoes. And then reaching back. Well done. And then stepping. First of all, knee to the chest, and then step your left foot forward towards the front. Step your right foot forward, and then fold down over your legs for a moment. And roll yourself up to standing. Good. I think I have to turn the light on. It's a bit dark. Why is it on? 1 second. How's that? That's much better. Aha, much better. Okay, good. So from here, we're going to come again into a little lunge. So from here, breathe in, lift your right leg up to your chest. And then nice and slowly start to move your right leg back. Start in your high flying position. So chest forward, roll your shoulders back. Hold it here for a moment, pointing your back foot or flexing, what is better for you, but keep focusing on the chest being higher than your hips. Roll the shoulders back and then nice and slowly, as slowly as you can, bring your right foot back behind you. Good, well done. Staying in your high lunge. Again, feel that you are activating your glutes. Your left knee is over your wrist, your ankle. So you don't have to bend the knee very much. And then from here, start to bring your hands back behind you, interlacing the fingers. Start to draw your tailbone slightly down and then squeeze your hands away from your buttocks. Hold it here. Draw the navel in. So don't just arch and collapse into your back. You want to connect to your core through this as well. Breathe. Oh, did you hear my shoulder? Just clicked. Good. 2 more deep breaths. Noticing what's happening. And then release the arms. Bringing your right arm over your left. And then bring your right knee back down towards the floor. Bring your head through the arms and then start to untuck the back toes and draw the hips forward, reaching the arms up and over. So your right hand is over your left, so you're basically flapping your fingers like a fish. Very lovely today. And then draw with your head your arms back. Good. Try to keep them really straight. If that's too much, just bring the hands in to a clasp like so. So full index finger pointing forward and thumb is overlapping at the top. Good. Slowly bring your hands back down to the floor. Hands down. And then bring your hips back. Bring your right hand inside of your left foot. You can tuck the back toes and then lift up your left arm to the sky. If you want, stay here or bring up your right knee. So you're in a little twist. And let's do arm circles. Lowering the left arm down and then reaching it forward and all the way up over the back. Do 4 more. Rotating the arm all the way forward and then back down behind you. 3 more. Keep breathing and keep strong in your left leg and your right hand. 2 more. And 1 more. Well done. Bring your hands down to the floor. Bring your right knee down and then step your left leg back. Coming to Anahatasana for a moment. Chest towards the floor. Reach your arms far forward. Keep your hips over your knees and then stay a little active in your core and try to press the hands forward, rotating your shoulders away from the ears. So don't let the armpits point sideways. You want to imagine someone's taking your upper arm and rolling it outwards. So you actively have to do this action of drawing the arms outwards and away from the ears, not inwards. Hold it there for a few breaths before we come to the other side. slowly walking yourself back. Push yourself back into downward dog. And then from here, just walking forward to the front of the mat. And roll yourself back up, pressing into the feet. Until you come to standing. Bring up your left knee, reach your arms up, hold your balance. And then slowly bringing your arms back, point your left foot back. Keep your chest open, focus on somewhere on the floor. So you have a fixed point for your gaze. Draw in your navel but activate your glutes. Good, and then lift your chest a little bit more. Yes, not the head. Chin just jumped up. We'll squeeze your hands back or outwards to the side. Use your hands as a balance point. Yes, that's it. Good, you just. And then slowly, oh, my foot wasn't pointed. Valentina lifts the chest. Chest, chest. Yes, good. And then slowly bending your right knee and try to step back as slowly as you can. Good work. Find again your high lunge with your back heel lifted and then interlace the hands behind your back. You can change the clasp of your hand if you like, and then roll the shoulders down and then move your hands away from the buttocks and squeeze. Keep rotating a little in your tailbone, so the tailbone is pointing down as if your hips want to come forward a little bit. Keep drawing the belly button in, and continue to draw the ribs a little bit more in, and tilt your tailbone down, like this. Pull this in more. Yes, that's it. Good. And then slowly release. Bring your arms up, and then bring your left hand over your right hand, palms facing inwards. Bring your head through the gap, and then lower your left knee down slowly towards the floor. Untuck the back toes and try to stretch the arms up while you open the chest forwards. Good. Holding this for a moment. Notice where you are in the chest. Imagine your chest is lifting upwards. So don't think of it as a back bend, but more of a lifting through your chest. And release. Bring your hands down to the floor. Bring your left hand inside of your right foot. You can tuck the back toes and then reach up your right arm, either staying here, or you can also straighten your left leg. And do the arm circles again, 5 times. Breathing in, arm reaches up and back. And 2 in your own time. Keep your neck soft, so you don't have to look up if it feels uncomfortable. 4. And 5. Just noticing where the movement is. Good. And then bring the hands down to the floor and push yourself back into a downward facing dog. And walk a little bit out through the heels. And then from here again, bringing your knees down. Well done. And then from here, hands come forward again. Try to keep your hips over your knees. And start little circles with the shoulders. So making a little circle 5 times in one direction, 5 times in the other. You need to move back slightly because it's intense in the shoulders. Just make the circle smaller, but keep engaging your core. So draw the belly button in, even if you're coming down. So 5 times in one direction, and then change other direction. You should feel this around the area of the armpits. Sometimes you'll feel it at the top of the shoulders, depending where the tightness is, maybe in the ribs. And once you've done 5 and 5, just try to rest your forehead on the floor or your chin, but try to keep the elbows off the floor by drawing your belly button inwards and pressing the hands forwards. And then slowly release, walking your hands back towards you, coming into a tabletop position. So a little bit gentler now. Open the chest into your cat curl, so into your cow curl, and then draw the navel in and around through the shoulder blades. And you can inhale, open the chest, into your cow and exhaling round through the spine. 3 more, inhaling to open and exhale to round and inhaling to open. Keeping the movement flowing, not trying to strain in your neck or anywhere else. Well done. And then from here we're going to bring our elbows down towards the floor. So another little work into our shoulders. Bring your thumbs to touch, or if that's really uncomfortable, interlace your hands so they're pressing down into the floor. So the trick is here that we're working into our shoulder strength, but we're also lifting up through the hips. I'll show you the interlaced version first. You're going to press into the hands, into your elbows, and push down with your elbows. So you're not collapsing it in the shoulders, you're pressing down. And then from here, tucking the toes. Oh, nice picture here. And then lifting your knees up. And just hold this. Notice if you're bringing your head so far forward that it's straining, so you can soften it a bit. If you're feeling comfortable here, see if you can walk your feet a little closer. Keeping your elbows pressing down and try to lift up through the hips. Now I don't want you to come forward with your head, so you have to keep this in the same position. You might notice that this happens because you're not concentrating on pushing down into your hands. So think about that first. So pressing down into your hands and then in your elbows. Just get this here. Right. That's it. Hold it here for a few moments until you feel it's enough, and then you can come back down. Good. Shoulder strength. And then slowly come back down. So if you felt it here in the upper arms, make sure as well that your arms don't flare out so that they don't start to slide out to the side. So you have to press down to the elbows. Let's do it another time. If you want a little bit of an extra challenge, you can try and lift one leg. So either with the hands interlaced or with the hands flat on the floor. Again, you're going to press down to your elbows, push downwards, draw your navel in, so belly comes in, and then head again is soft. Lift off the knees, you can stay here, or then you can see if you can straighten the legs a little bit more, and see if once your toes touching, you can raise up one leg. Now again, don't let the head come forward, so you have to press the hands towards the floor. That will lift up the leg, and stay there for maybe 3 breaths. Keep it. Hold it and breathe. And then change slowly over, even if it's just for 1 moment. Or if you're just holding, exploring your shoulder strength here. Good. And then you can come back down when you've done the other side. Open the knees a little and reach your arms forward for a nice stretch again through the back before we move on. So from here we're going to start sliding ourselves onto our front. Give yourself a little wriggle through the hips. And then starting by bringing your hands slightly forward with your elbows and height of your shoulders. Point your toes and activate your legs. Draw the tailbone slightly away from you and pull your navel in. And then from here roll the shoulders back and start to draw the chest forward as your hands pull towards you. So that will lift up a little bit through the chest and then slowly coming back down. Please only go as far as feels comfortable. Breathing in again, roll the shoulders back and then draw the hands towards you and peel the chest off the floor. Point your toes out into knee and then come back down. That's it, good. Keep going. 3 more. Inhaling. Imagine you want to roll backwards as if you are a slice of, like a slice of cheese and someone's just peeling it off the wrapper. And then you come back down on the floor. I meant to say like prosciutto, like, but I don't really eat meat, so can't really. And the cheese was also, I haven't had cheese for, well, anyway, you know what I mean. Good, you're all doing it quite well. And then the last time, hold it up here. Press a little bit into your hands and see if you can draw the shoulders down the back. Point your toes. And then look over your right shoulder. Or just lean towards the right and then look over the left shoulder. And one more time, look over the right shoulder. And look over the left shoulder. And then slowly coming back down. Then from here, you can do this with your broomstick or with a strap, or you can also do it without anything. So the exercise is this. You're going to take your arms forward, pointing your toes, and you're going to lift up the arms, squeeze the legs together and see if you can bring the arms all the way up over the back. Inhale, reach them up and over, and lie back down. We're just going to do 5 of those. Breathing in, lift. Exhaling, reaching them back. Inhaling, lift. And exhaling over. You can do the exercise without anything, or if you don't have a strap, all the way up, and then just slide the arms back, and then reach them in a slight arch all the way forward. You won't get so much the shoulder stretch, but it will still be beneficial for your back muscles, so you'll strengthen the back. Good work, that's it. I'll do it with you. Step this down. Feel that little lift as you reach the arms up and back. And one more. And then keep the strap or your belt back. And then turn the hands, I've got my steps far away now. Turn the hands so that the palms are facing upwards. And pull it back, and from here do tiny little lifts. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Good. Lie back down, release, wriggle out through the hips. Give yourself a little gentle release here. Maybe bend your knees and just drop the feet either side of your body. Good. And then from here, pushing the floor away, lift up the chest one more time and see if you can come a little higher through the chest, and then bend your elbows slowly and roll yourself down. Let's do that 4 more times. Breathe in, activate your back muscles and press the floor away, straightening the arms as far as possible. Keep the shoulders rolled back so you're not collapsing here, and then rolling back down. So you're increasing the pressure into your lower back. So it might feel like a sort of dull sensation. If at any point it feels too intense or it feels sharp, please don't go there. Good. And again, good, David. Nice, that's it. And you can explore with your neck. So it feels nice to look up. It gives you a little stretch in the neck. But make sure you're not feeling that you're pulling the neck back, because that will just, again, activate those neck muscles, and we don't want to activate them because they tense up so quickly. Do 1 more. Good. And then release down. Well done. Tuck your toes under, push the floor away, and then sit back into a child's pose again, this time with your toes tucked and your arms forward. If you need to give your lower back a little drum with your fists, so making fists with your hands, that is also nice. And then slowly coming back into a tabletop position. And now step your right foot forward. And we're going to go into your left hip flexor. So you can stay here, just exploring where the sensation is in the front of the hip. Or you can also lean into your left hand. And see if you can reach your right hand onto the lower back and then draw the hip down to the floor. So a little bit as if you're rotating to the right. Now if it's comfortable for your knee, just put your right foot a little bit further forward. I'm not sure if it's too far back, but make sure it's in height of your hand or under your knee. Yeah, good, okay. So now if you're feeling comfortable on your knee, make sure that you're comfortable. Lean forward and see if you can roll over your knee. If you're on a hard floor, make sure you pad your knee first of all. If you have your knee bent and your foot is up, see if you can reach for your foot with your right hand. You can draw maybe the hip a little bit back and then soften the hip down to the floor. You can also use your strap for this, so maybe on a towel. So then you're putting the towel around your foot. It's a bit awkward. You have to make a loop. Oh, terrible demonstrator today. So my apologies. So you can make a loop, and then you have the strap here, or your towel. And then see if you can just find an area where you can soften your hip forward and gently pull your foot towards the buttock. Again, this is quite an intense sensation at times, so if this is too much, just stay with your foot down and explore here, just softening the hip downwards. Good. And then from here, coming back, bring your hand back into the middle of your foot, and then draw your hip back for a moment, and then draw the hip forward. And then draw the hip back, maybe stretching out through the heel, and then draw the hip forward. And just one more. 3. Hip goes back, and hip goes forward. And then move the right foot out to the side, give it a little wiggle, and then step your left foot forward. And then soften the hip towards the front. You can again stay here. Everything is valid as long as you feel something. You are working with what you are experiencing today. And then see if you can lean towards your left. If you do it like we did the first time. And then you can again stay here, maybe with the hand on the thigh. Or again, if it feels okay, you can roll over the top of your knee. And then reach with your left hand for your right foot. And then draw the foot towards you with the elbow slightly bent. And you can do a little breathing in, releasing, and exhale, soften. So you soften yourself into this stretch. Because I used to, well, not at the moment during lockdown, but I used to cycle so much, my quads were always quite tight. They've gone a little bit better now. But still, it's quite an intense one for me. And then hold it where you feel you can just explore that sensation. And again, don't try to grip or strain. Just breathe carefully. Notice if something eases a little. If I relax into it, if I just not force myself to hold it at the most intense point, that's when it usually becomes a little bit easier, or just take it back a little bit. And then when you're ready, slowly release that leg. Maybe the hand back inside of that left foot. You tap the toes and slowly draw your hips back. Maybe stretching out your left leg, or your left foot, sorry. And then inhaling forward and exhaling back. And inhaling forward. And exhale back. Good. And then forward, and then bring that leg out to the side and give your hips a little wiggle. Good. Well done. From here we're going to come into a little bit of the core work, so that we're not just doing our back, but we're also supporting the lower back with our core. We're going to keep the elbows on the floor. Make sure your elbows are right underneath your shoulders, and then have your knees underneath your hips. Now I'll show you 3 options of this next exercise. We're going to keep drawing the belly button in. So you're like in a low plank, but your knees are down. I don't want you collapsing in the lower back, so no arching in the back. It's as if you're tucking the tailbone under, so this is engaged. So no belly button falling forward. Okay, so from here, option 1, knees down, and then you just straighten out one leg, and then bring it back down, and then the other leg, and back down. You can do this also with both legs straightening, so in a low plank, and bring the knees back down. Straighten the legs, bring the knees back down. Keep your crown of the head reaching forward. And the third version, which is a little bit stronger, you're going to lie on your forearms with your toes tucked, and then you're going to draw the belly in, push yourself up, and then slowly coming back down. Breathing in, activate the core, and squeeze everything back up. Do 6 of those in your own time. If you're doing one leg at a time, do 3 each leg. Pushing back, exhaling, and down for this variation. Modify to your needs. when you're doing this version, really draw the belly in first before you press down into your hands and your elbows. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze the heels away, and hold it for a moment in your low plank. And then all together, if we can, we're going to hold for the count of 6 in our low plank. So when you're ready, let's get there. Push the floor away, continue to bring the elbows a little bit closer underneath you. Bring them in. Yeah, good. Alright, and then here we go. Draw the navel in from wherever you're starting into your low plank. And let's hold it. Squeeze the glutes. Draw your belly in. Maybe tuck the tailbone a little bit more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Come back down. Whew. Alright. Well done, everyone. We'll rock the hips a little bit side to side. Really good. And then from here, we're going to push the floor away. Roll yourself back and up. And then come sitting on one side of your hips and then bring your legs out in front of you. And slowly roll yourself down, lying on your back. Or you can roll or step down any way you like. Oh, my hair is in the way. To change my hair, sorry. There we go. Okay. And then step your feet in so that your knees are pointing up to the ceiling and your hands are by your side. And then take a breath in, tilt your tailbone and peel your spine off the floor. Once your hips are up, shimmy your shoulders underneath you, so get them closer together, shoulder blades closer together, and see if you can reach with your fingers towards your heels. Now don't try to get your knees beyond your feet, so make sure you're pushing your hips up. Your head is on the floor, so don't look to the side, and then draw your belly slightly in and open your chest towards your chin. If it feels comfortable, you can interlace the hands underneath your buttock and press into your pinky fingers. So also your shoulders are engaging and your triceps as you raise up through the hips. And as an extra tip, lift your toes off the floor. Not your heels, not the balls of the feet, just the toes. So you're pressing into the whole sole of the foot, excluding the toes. And try to find some space in the middle back by slightly softening your tailbone down. And then release the arms and roll yourself down, upper middle and lower back down to the floor. Good. Drop the knees either side of the body. Just a little release. We're going to do another variation of this. So this time, we're going to try to get our hands underneath our hips. You can also do the same exercise again. So breathing in, roll your hips up. Again, shimmy your shoulders underneath you and then see if you can bend your elbows so that the hands come underneath your hips. And then just bring the elbows as close as you can underneath you. You might have them underneath your buttocks or just on the side of the hips, depending on the length of your arms. And then see if you can just soften the hip a little bit into your hands so that you're steadying yourself with your arms. And then draw the chest again forward and then squeeze your glutes and see if you can lift a little higher. And then maybe bring the elbows a little bit closer underneath you. So they're walking upwards towards your mid-back. Maybe your thumbs can even press into that middle bit to raise them up a little bit more. Press into the feet. Imagine your hands, your own hands are helping you upwards. Good. And again, release just a little bit and roll yourself back down. Good. Again, drop your knees either side of your body. Working now a little bit into the glutes. One more time to get them nice and strong because they're also helping you rise up. So from here, then again, press up into your feet. Lift your hips up again. Try to reach your fingers towards your heels. Pressing up through the hips. Weight is in your shoulders. And now just think of pressing into your left foot and lifting the right foot, but just lift the right heel. So you lift up through the hips, but the right heel lifts off the ground as well. Think of pressing into the left foot and right shoulder. That makes it a bit easier. And then change it and bring the right heel down. Press into the right foot and the left shoulder and lift your left heel while still pushing the hips up to the ceiling. And then change. You can do this now again, or you can try, and as you press into the left foot and right shoulder, lifting your right knee up and straightening out your leg. Push into the floor, just do one breath, and then bending your knee and step the foot down. If you're just doing the transferring of weight, continue now to the other side. So lifting up now the left heel as you press into the right foot and the left shoulder, and then lift up the leg and reach it up, or just keep the knee bent, push up, activate your glute. And then bending your left knee, step it down, lift your hips one more time, should be a little bit easier, and then roll down the spine again. Woo. And then dropping your knees either side. These are all little tricks to get you a little bit more open into the spine. And now we're going to come to the big ones. So we're going to come into your back bends. They are quite, or can be quite strenuous for the shoulders. So we work the shoulders, and we work now the bit in the lower back, and the part in the middle back as well. So if you had enough and you feel you would like to have a more restorative version, you might want to take maybe a book or a pillow, or something that is a little bit sturdy, like a rolled up towel. And you can place this now, if you want, just in the middle of your shoulders, so just where your shoulder blades are, and you can lie back, and it's a little bit gentler, so just opening up the spine. If you've not had enough and you want to explore your back bends, let's go here. So we're going to take our back bend now. I'm always wondering how my back bend is going to be today, because I never show my back bends. They're not my easy spot. I'm the hamstring person. So bringing your hands next to your ears. Try to get the fingers to face the shoulders and your elbows pointing up. And then from here, start by pushing into your feet, lifting the hips up. Then press into the hands, especially your thumb and index finger. And then lift the crown of the head maybe towards the floor, keeping your legs nice and strong. Then move your hands a little closer. Draw your heart up. Straighten your arms and draw the chest towards the back of the mat, looking towards your hands. Now that you've trained your legs to be nice and strong, see if you can keep pressing them into the floor so you open up the chest. Once you had enough, slowly roll yourself onto the back of the shoulders. Good, Valentini, that's it. Bring the elbows up, please. That's it. So you can try again, bring the hands next to your ears and give it another go. So think again how we just strengthen the leg. So lifting the hips up. That's it, let's do cool. Good, Valentini. Jen, how are you doing? Good, David. Keeps his legs nice and strong. That's it. Push into your heels. Imagine the heels are anchoring you down. And then come down. Well done. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of a nice back bend. You can do one more if you like. Just a third one. Lifting up without any breaks. And then coming down. Or you can just rest. And we're going to close with some core so that we're getting our spine nice and strong. So from here, when you're ready, lift your knees into your chest. Good. And then open the arms a little to the side so the palms are facing down. Good. Hold it here. And then just start to make little circles with your knees. Good. Make sure your core is engaged. Little circles. Breath is now smoothing down. And then change direction. And then start little circling movements with your legs. Engage your core so the belly is drawing in. And then change direction, go the other way around. So cycling backwards. And then bring your knees back into the chest. Bring your hands behind your head and neck. Peel your shoulder blades off the floor. And then just start little crisscross twisting. Inhaling to change. Exhale, straightening one leg and reaching your shoulder towards the opposite elbow. Try and keep your knees over your hips. Exhaling to lengthen. You can also reach the leg up or just do the movement A little twist without the legs straight. Keep your legs at 45 degrees, or 60, what's that, 60 degrees. Not too low, so don't drop the leg too low. You want to keep it long. Do another round. One more each side, until it burns a little bit. Still going, good. And then roll back onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Ooh. And then come to a spinal twist. So you can either drop both knees over to the right, or you can straighten out the right leg and then bend your left knee and bring it over towards the right. And then maybe reaching your arm to the left side. And take a few breaths so you come into stillness. Breathe into the areas which feel a little tender because they got compressed or strengthened or stretched. And then slowly coming back, bring your top leg, so your left leg up first, and then the right, and then coming to the other side. Maybe either with the left leg straight or both knees bend, and then maybe reaching the right arm out to the side. Then you could look up or to the side. And then from here, slowly coming back to center. And then just lie on your back and just take a little gentle release of doing nothing. I just want to say a little stretch, but it's just doing nothing. Just lying here and letting the weight of your back fall towards the ground. And feeling that energy in your back. That letting go, that tingling. And then when you're ready, bringing your knees back into your chest. You can of course lie here for a little bit longer if you like. And either roll yourself to one side, or if you want a little bit more back massage, roll yourself up and down the spine until you come to a seated position. And you're just going to stretch out a little bit through the neck so you can come seated or on your knees. And then just soften your right ear to the right shoulder and just reach the left arm to the side. Stretch out the neck a little bit. You can also bring the hand down if it's easier. And then drop your neck, your chin to the armpit, and see if there's a different sensation of the stretch. Make sure you're not pulling the right neck muscle, so you're just releasing. And then soften the chin to the chest and roll the head back up. And then come to the other side, letting the ear soften towards the left shoulder. And again, not pulling the neck down, but just softening this area. And then the opposite arm can stretch away. And then maybe drawing the chin to the armpit, see if there's a different sensation of the stretch. And then maybe small movements. And then releasing the chin to the chest. Roll your head back up and then just interlace the hands behind your head and neck. And then draw the chin to the chest again and let your elbows fall forward, keeping your spine nice and long. And feel that little stretch in the back of your neck. This again, of course, depends on how much forward your chin can come, so how your cervical spine bends. So don't worry if you don't come very far forward. As long as you feel a little stretch. And then releasing the clasp behind your head. Roll your head up and then make 2 claws with your hands, so like a little bear claw, and then place them behind your neck and part the skin, so if you're pulling the skin forward, and just give your neck a little gentle massage. You can dig right up behind your skull and just pull the skin away from the midline. Really dig in and then draw the skin forward, maybe behind your shoulders, and get a little deeper into the middle of the shoulder blades, and again pull that skin forward, and again dig in and pull forward. Should hopefully feel quite nice, a little tingly, and then you can move a little bit down towards the shoulders. And if you have a little hard knot there, then take your index and middle finger and go in there and just very gently give a little rub, trying to get in there. And then again a little rub and massage it out. Good. And then take just one more deep breath. You can reach up. And then I'll just bring my hands to my heart. And I thank you for joining me today. I hope your back feels woozy warm and open. And I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.